That joke won't work because I have to beep the middle. Hello, welcome to This Week in Japan. I'm the Gaijin John.
I'm the Geek Tom.
And we bring you together all the local news from around Japan, whether it be massive 3D billboards or the Olympics. Again. And again. And again. It's almost over. Almost.
It's only just begun.
Now, the problem is also that we are currently, because it's Sunday, football is currently in a Schrodinger's state of home or not home.
Haven't you heard, John? It's definitely coming home.
Yes, but whether it will arrive soon is up to debate. Please insert your preferred conclusion due to the events of Sunday night. Yay!
I don't know if I can live with a World Cup 66 in my lifetime, John. I think I could go quite happily without that ever happening. Okay.
Thing is, it's gonna happen at like 4 a.m. my time, and I have work in the morning, so I cannot stay up to watch football.
On the plus side, I don't think there's going to be anyone at work who wants to talk to you about it in the morning, so...
Don't you know, those Japanese 17-year-old girls, super into the Euros. But anyway, this week, regardless of the stupid sports talk that I bring you, we do have a Blade Runner arriving now in Japan. A man attempts to become a living god. Someone who is not me definitely tries to attack the embodiment of the Olympics. Someone else tries to steal some cucumbers. A snack break that is slightly bigger snack, and it came down softly as the Tottori rain. And the Olympics is not having anyone round for tea. Also, Thomas, you've been vaccinated, yeah?
I got my first shot.
Japan don't care about your dirty foreigner vaccines. This all coming this episode.
Well, I don't care about your stupid Japanese land, Japan. Take that. Yeah.
Oh.
Burn.
But after that linguistical burn, it is time for Cute Corner. And this week's Cute Corner is also kind of terrifying, but Terrifying Corner doesn't have the same ring to it.
Doesn't have any alliteration at all. Creepy Corner, maybe, but definitely not Terrifying Corner. That's just wrong.
Well, this is in Shinjuku, iconic Shinjuku in Tokyo, and they have a new ad space. I love talking about adverts, but this is Cross Shinjuku Vision.
John, we had a whole section about a Pikachu plane. We're way past that. We're already talking about ads.
The thing is, it's kind of difficult when it's not running to see what it has. But currently...
Oh boy.
It's a new resident, as you will.
It's a big-ass cat.
It's a big-ass 3D cat.
All cats are 3D, apart from the anime ones, I guess.
It's basically set up when it's dark to appear as like a massive 3D piece of art. So it doesn't look like something on the side of a building.
Yeah, that's horrifying. Oh god, it's going to be even worse at night, isn't it? Oh, it's sleepy.
It's because it's night.
Big yawn. Does it make noises as well? Did I hear it making, like, mewing sounds during the day?
No, it does make sound.
Oh god, that's going to be wonderful, just walking down a street and going, what is that noise? Where's that coming from? Oh god!
This is like a Godzilla-sized cat. Well, it's if Godzilla had a cat. It's basically set up to look like there's just a giant 3D cat that's always watching from the side of the corner. And it's a really cute cat. I kind of love it as like an idea. It's the same kind of tech that if you've ever seen those Chinese billboards that are set up to look like spaceships.
I have not. That sounds cool.
It's a curved LED sign.
Neat.
The thing is, Thomas, you can't see the cat all the time.
Aww.
Because It will have its grand debut as of speaking tomorrow, or the past, if you're listening to this, on the 12th of July. And it opens an ad loop, waking up at 7 a.m. in the morning and falling asleep at the end of the day before the signage turns off at 1 a.m.
Ah, okay.
There's even like an online schedule that it has for when it appears.
I want to see the baby.
I would like to see the baby.
Which can be found on their Twitter account if you really want to go see it, which is @cross_s_vision. It does look like something slightly from It looks like something from like Blade Runner or something. Like if this comes in fashion and becomes like affordable, you're just going to end up walking through it. It's like, oh my god, so many cats!
There's worse uses for technology. I do appreciate this schedule that you sent me, which I have absolutely no idea how to read. Thank you for that.
Well, an even worse use of technology is right here in Crime Corner.
Gasp.
Which, as we follow the events of a Hokkaido man that, as you may know, Thomas, vaccines are starting in Japan, but one man...
Are they really?
Well, he's in his 80s.
Oh. He should have already got his shots then.
Well, that's the problem, is he got his shots, and then he got them again. So this man has been vaccinated 4 times, stating that he thought it would be more effective.
I mean, if the first shot is 85% effective, give or take, and the second shot brings that up to like 99.9%, then surely if you add a third shot, then it's like 165% effective. Then if you get
Thomas,
a fourth shot...
I don't think that's how percentages work. It is just kind of the meme from Community, which goes, I'll be a living God!
Is that gentleman okay? Is he still with us? And if he is he still sane?
He currently states he's fine. I can't account for his sanity, but apparently he's shown no signs of health-related problems. And he didn't divulge he'd had the vaccinations before to get the second set. And he is quoted here by saying, I thought it would be more effective with multiple shots, resulting in more antibodies.
If your body already knows how to produce the antibodies, teaching it how to make the antibodies again is not going to do anything.
Thomas, I know as a teacher that going through first grade multiple times, it's the equivalent of going to university. Because it's 4 years in school. It's the same.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess it's no surprise that this man managed to slip through Japan's just airtight vaccination system.
Rigorous.
Rigorous.
I'm
sorry for whoever's vaccine he managed to nick.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was thinking, is like, you selfish prick. Hey, needle, vaccination. You get it?
Yeah, good job, but tish.
I will say though that I currently have I have received a letter from my prefecture about scheduling a COVID vaccine.
Ooh.
However, they're not going to get to the under 65s in my prefecture until August, and by that time I'll be leaving, and I'm pretty sure I'm not like this guy. I'm pretty sure it'd be a dick move to get a vaccination in like the 10 days I'm here in August and then just leave the country.
I mean, it's a global pandemic, John, and your antibodies are good whatever country you're in. I'm sure it's in everyone's interest for you to get your vaccine regardless of where you're living. But if you want to wait until the English figure out how to vaccinate you, then that's on you.
Speaking of Japan and COVID, we do, of course, have the Olympics coming up. And we'll get to it more in our final section, but this one, a woman has been arrested.
No.
Because she attacked the Olympic torch.
Come on now, guys. Come on now.
You want to guess how she attacked the Olympic torch? As I said when we were talking, like, you're pretty, like, clear. If you're fast enough, you could do whatever you wanted.
With a comedically large rubber mallet, John.
With a water pistol from a 100 yen store.
I mean, that is insulting right there. It's not even like a good water pistol. It's literally just the cheapest thing you could get your hands on. And if you're planning on putting out the Olympic torch with that, it's not just about putting out the fire. It's about sending a message with that.
I'm sorry,
My God.
It's not from a 100 yen store. I'm sorry. It's from Fancy and Toy Tonari. It is on video, Thomas. If you would like to see, it is one of the most pathetic things I think I've ever seen. Including the fact that the police, arrested her for it.
You can't do anything in this country anymore without being arrested. It's political correctness gone mad.
The lady is also, by the way, 53 years old.
She is not putting in a lot of effort here.
No. Legit. If she just said that, there was a fly I was trying to hit instead.
Well, she was behind the barricade, so if she just, stepped back, they couldn't have grabbed her.
Yeah, it's
and held her. They'd have to give and chase, and that'd have been even funnier.
The thing is, obviously this is semi-pointless because they always have multiple backup flames. So even if you extinguish it, it doesn't matter.
Here's one I ignited earlier.
But it is, there are actual arguments online of, is this just being stupid? Is this, bad for the runner? Is this, what is this? And I go, I don't care.
I mean, I get that it's dark and that the water might go in the runner's eyes and you don't want to cause them unnecessary harm, but it is a cheap-ass water pistol. They can just stop running if they get hit and feel they need to stop. It's not that big a deal.
It's not even. We have to also say this is not someone with a massive super soaker, soaking going. Pff. It is a 50-year-old woman with a single little spraying it. If she'd brought her garden hose, she'd have made them more wet. Not even with a water supply, just flailing the hose at him.
Even if she does hit the flame in that video, which I can't quite tell, it does not affect the Olympic torch all that much.
Yeah.
It does not care for her little protest. So, I mean, you gotta respect her for the effort. No one else has been doing this, as far as I can tell.
She did shout as the flame went past, "Olympic opposition! Stop the Olympics!" We are unsure why she did it. No. But this was in Mito City in Ibaraki Prefecture.
What exactly do you charge that woman with?
Maybe assault?
Maybe assault with a water pistol? Is there any jury in the world that will convict her?
Okay, legit, this article I found, who could think of why she did this? Literally, the next article I find. Ibaraki police seek motive of woman who used squirt gun to snuff out Olympic flame. She didn't extinguish it.
It was an attempted extinguishment at best.
Upon her arrest, she said, "I wanted to snuff out the flame. I opposed the Olympics."
But what is her motivation, John? What could drive someone to such extremes as pulling a water pistol on the Olympic torch?
Police later determined that since the liquid did not contain an offensive smell or exhibit any tackiness, then it must be water.
I mean, good for them. It's good to do their research, make sure it's not anything too harmful. But I don't see this 53-year-old woman putting acid in her cheap-ass water pistol.
Yeah, so she was arrested on suspicion of disruption of business.
That's a dystopic little expression right there.
I think that's in the new UK protest law.
Pretty sure the new UK protest law is just, if the police say you can't protest, you can't protest. Suck it up, kids.
They might end up with some water gun control. Buy them now. The resistance starts here, kids.
Water guns.
Say no to water gun control. Because otherwise it would just be the bad guys there with water guns. They have water cannons. We cannot allow the monopoly of water force to be held by only the police. Well, speaking of more water-related crimes...
oh no, not more, John. My stomach could barely handle it.
This one is related to food, because there is suspected smuggling of sea cucumbers.
Aye.
Sea cucumbers. On the 8th of July, the Coast Guard in Hokkaido observed a small dinghy off the coast of Tomamae, and this raft had an outboard motor. And when they'd made it to shore, the officers were waiting to arrest its captain. And they found out that there were 11 people in the boat, and as well as diving gear, submersible machines, and more, they also had with them, the people who were arrested, 688 kilograms of sea cucumbers.
That's a lot of sea cucumbers.
That's about 2.2 million yen of sea cucumbers. About $20,000.
Why are sea cucumbers in such high demand?
Apparently, people saying this might be related to organised crime because there's something that can be sold on the black market, but it's also used in holistic medicine. But it's also just food. It's also just used as food as well. But this is much more related to the idea of poaching in the area. So basically, you have people who are sea cucumber poaching.
Are sea cucumbers like a protected species? Or...
partly, especially in this area. The police have not pressed charges yet because they're trying to work out if the group were planning to smuggle the creatures outside of the country. This is such a complicated but boring news story.
It's about sea cucumbers. What? How did this get into, like, international smuggling crime? Over sea cucumbers. Again, you said that you could eat them, but are they, like, a delicacy? Is there a reason you'd want to smuggle large amounts of them around? For food reasons?
Well, I think the reason they had a large amount of them is they'd just been picking them.
I mean, yeah, but they've obviously got to find a place to sell all that in bulk, right? They're not just going to the local fish stores and selling them off individually.
I also want to tell you, Thomas, do not be alarmed. This is not the first time this has happened this year.
Oh my god. The conspiracy grows, John.
Yeah, and
it's unraveling before my eyes.
These ones were arrested with about 390 kilograms of sea cucumbers.
Ugh. Rookie numbers. You gotta pump those numbers up.
Oh, so basically, they're selling them to the Yakuza. Legit?
That would make sense, I guess. Why are they selling it to the Yakuza?
I don't know, because also the Yakuza apparently own seafood companies here as well. Very recently, a new, law went into effect that poaching of sea cucumbers and other delicacies face up to 3 years in prison and fine of 30 million yen.
Oh, damn.
Basically, they have some hype. They're worth a lot.
No kidding. Did not expect to learn about that today, but hey.
Would you risk it for a sea cucumber? And now... I don't think...
What are you eating today, by the way, John?
Not sea cucumbers. I'm not actually eating anything today because my snack break was in the past. So, in the time machine we go, Thomas.
We have got to figure out a better use of this time machine than just going back to when you last had a snack. Come on.
No, timelines, Thomas. You can't...
Timelines, fair.
Timelines.
We can only observe. We cannot interfere.
So, I made a commercial agreement from the guy I bought the machine from. It's like, I'm not allowed to make money out of the time machine.
And if you interact with your past self, some weird CGI bug monsters will come up and try and eat a church. Yeah, that's how it works.
God damn you, first season of New Who. Damn you. But anyway, this...
And it never happened again.
Well, first of all, last week we talked about frappuccinos, in which I had the Tottori frappuccino. This week, somewhere in Shimane, I'm currently drinking the Shimane Frappuccino, which was coffee and green tea, and we established looked like a swamp.
Did it taste like a swamp, though?
It did taste like a swamp. It was very authentic.
Unfortunate.
I will say...
However, if you get 3 of them and tap them, you can play a 3-mana zombie with 2/2.
That's value for a 2/2.
It is. It immediately got replaced by a zombie with the same stats, but for only 2 black mana. So, power creep, what can you do?
This one was much more bitter than I expected, because it has cream in it, but it's green tea and coffee, and it's like there's not much sweetness there. And so you got the sweetness of the cream, and then you got the bitter green tea. You got a bit of like the roasted coffee flavour, but mostly the flavour was of green tea. I will say also that everyone in the place was getting them. Like, literally, probably about 80% of the drinks I saw were these frappuccinos.
All the cool kids are drinking swamp water, man.
Yeah, I was like, it was okay. Like, it was that slightly sweet. The thing is, I like matcha and I like coffee, but like, you ended up getting the matcha taste. The flavors don't mesh together that well, I don't think. And and also the aftertaste was very bitter. The aftertaste was bad. It's one of the straight up, no, this is not good. Though they seem to have come up with a counter to that because of how bad the special frappuccino is. They have a recommended little board at the front of the one I went to of like, these are 4 syrups we can put in to make it taste nice. I think one was like chocolate, one was white chocolate, one was vanilla. It was like, yeah. I had mine as God intended.
All 4 syrups.
Japan has 4 syrups.
Yeah, it goes vanilla, something, regular chocolate, white chocolate. That's just how it goes. That's just the 4 syrups. No other country has 4 syrups,
including
just Japan.
The mystery syrup. But the thing is, Thomas, that is not my snack break today. That was an added-on snack break. So we have to go slightly even further back in the time machine. Because, Thomas, it is currently McDonald's 50th birthday in Japan.
God. Okay. Oh, and what have they done to celebrate this monumental occasion, John?
They've brought something special. Because obviously McDonald's is from America. So...
It is indeed.
I had the Texas burger.
Wait, hold on. So that's obviously a patty, 2 slices of cheese, some barbecue sauce, bacon, and is that omelets or crisp?
Those are nachos.
The most Texan of foods.
It doesn't stop there. So this is this is 2 patties, 2 slices of smoky bacon, some cheese. Then there is also rich barbecue sauce and sweet tortilla chips, as well as a mustard sauce as well.
Oh, I missed the mustard sauce. I didn't even see that.
I did not understand why there was mustard on this burger. Why was there mustard?
Get a taste of Texas in you, John. With the mustard.
Mustard and barbecue. The ultimate Texan meal. Do we have any listeners from Texas? Please send a message in. How offended are you by this burger? Also,
and how offended are you by mine and John presumptions about your cuisine, I guess.
Yeah, I will say also, they do have like the Pikachu, I think, orange milkshakes on at the moment, but the milkshake machine was broken, so I was very sad.
I mean, how else is McDonald's going to celebrate 50 years in Japan without a broken milkshake machine, John? I ask you this.
They've made a bunch of the packaging and stuff make it look like it was 50 years ago, which includes the slightly terrifying mascot that McDonald's had in Japan called Speedy.
There he is. He's got a sign saying, "I'm Speedy," just in case you didn't know.
He was the original mascot in Japan. He has a burger for a head, but sideways.
This is somehow an upgrade from Ronald McDonald, but only barely. Speedy the Chef Burger. Fantastic. Reject modernity, embrace tradition.
Return to Speedy.
I mean, the packaging is stylish. It's definitely got the vibe.
Apparently, Speedy was even used in the US. Apparently, it was used by the original founders, Richard and Maurice McDonald, at their burger restaurant in California.
We're uncovering some deep McDonald's lore here live on the podcast, folks. This is what you come here for. It's the deep dives.
Yeah. There was much too much sauce. It was fine. It was too sweet. The tortilla chips tasted like stale.
Oh.
But it was very... it was wet barbecue sauce on top. Like, the bacon, I think, was fine, but everything tasted of barbecue. And then, for some reason, the mustard sauce was just Dijon mustard. And I'm like, why is this here? I am concerned for you, McDonald's. Are you okay?
I don't know what to tell you, John.
I was there with some friends, and they did say the other special burgers they had at that time were a bit better, which includes like a special fried chicken burger.
The chicken burger looks like a chunky boy, that's for sure.
Yeah, and also they're selling everything as like a double, triple burger.
I do have to respect that just one of the burgers is just 3 patties stacked on top of each other with 3 slices of cheese in between. That's a burger right there. Can't say anything wrong about that.
Americanness is excess.
Ain't that truth?
And now back to the future we go.
Feel like that's copyrighted. I don't think we can play that song.
Back to the disappointing present. Well, back to your past. I don't know how do recordings and concepts of time work, Thomas?
We're still trying to figure it out, John. We've had this time machine for like 50 episodes now, and we still don't know how to use it properly.
Well, mostly it might have been water damaged, because I will say some local news for me. My school's been closed for like the last 3 days.
Oh, boy.
Because of huge flood warnings that have covered most of central Japan.
Oh, no.
I will say, everyone, that I am fine. I live in a city. I live in a big city, so I'm not going to get washed away. But, like, there are in some cities and some places there have been landslides. No one's been hurt. But mostly it was interruptions to the trains and the buses. And it was a bit like, oh, well, students can't really get to school. And also my school is surrounded by paddy fields. So
that's not going to drain easy.
No. I will say on my Friday, I was a bit like, I woke up to see a message saying the school was closed. And I was just thinking, I looked outside. It's torrential rain. Like, just continual rain, like, so bad. I just sent a message like, yeah, I'm taking my day off today. Thanks. Okay, thanks. Bye. And went back to bed. I will say that most people are fine, but there are still currently some evacuation orders in place if you are in Tottori or Shimane. It's a bit rough. And now the storms are kind of moving west and south down towards Kyushu. So everyone please take care. Make sure you know where your evacuation places are. Blah-de-blah-de-blah. But yeah.
Oh boy. Japan can just not catch a break, can it?
Japan loves shitty weather. That's what they do. Yeah. It was...
Do they love it? Or can they just not help it?
No, you can't really help it. It's not. It's just lots of heavy rainfall all at once, and especially a lot of Japan's like environmental stuff, including the monoculture of trees and stuff, really doesn't help. When you don't have very strict building codes either, you end up with loads of like loose earth, which means stuff is very susceptible to landslides and flooding.
Hey, it's stuff we've already talked about on other episodes of the podcast. We're learning things and applying it, folks. What did you imagine?
If only the Japanese government could do the same. Because, happy news! Tokyo has finally decided they will be under a COVID-19 state of emergency during the Olympics. It was looking a bit on the border there what was going to happen, but no. Tokyo is going to be in a COVID-19 state of emergency, which means, Thomas, that you'll be happy there'll be no spectators, no Japanese spectators at all.
Congratulations, folks, you have successfully achieved the worst case scenario. Who could have guessed?
This is coming in the fact that the daily rates for Tokyo were all like trending up to about 800, 900 cases a day.
Christ.
Yeah. And with the vaccination drive is going, but Japan is also currently looking at some possible vaccine shortages as well.
Isn't just because of old men sticking quadruple needles in their arms this time.
So that luckily means most likely they won't be forcing the school kids to go there.
Oh, thank God. At least someone's thinking of the children. Why do they never think for the children, John?
I don't know. I just don't know. Though Suga did say we must take stronger steps to prevent another nationwide outbreak, said the man who was in charge of taking those steps from the beginning.
Goodness me. I've never heard anyone take that attitude towards COVID before, John. That's certainly a unique little bit of politics that I've only seen in Japan.
But it's just so new. It's just so... Now, the thing is, like, they are starting to look at vaccine passports. So for people in the West and in Japan as well, they're currently looking at vaccination passports, basically having an online app or like a piece of paper basically saying, I've been vaccinated, please let me travel. Now, Japan's like, okay, cool. They're organising ones for their citizens, so you can now, I think they're starting maybe last Friday or next Friday in Japan, that if you're vaccinated you can try and get a vaccine passport. However, there comes the talk of international like recognition of these things. And there are currently about 10 countries who are all looking into like recognising each other's vaccine passports. However, Japan has decided they want to be special.
As Japan is wont to do.
Basically, the setup is that they wanted other countries to accept their vaccinated citizens, but they didn't want to have to allow vaccinated citizens from other countries to come to them.
What? That's so unlike Japan's immigration policies in the past, John. Who could have predicted that this is the route they would choose to take for some reason?
So basically, even if you're vaccinated, the current plans the Japanese government were looking at would mean you'd still have to quarantine for like 10 days.
I mean, on the plus side, even if the Japanese government asks you to quarantine, there's literally nothing they can do to stop you from not. So, I mean...
Okay, yeah.
They haven't thought any of this through, is what I'm trying to say. Has that been made clear? Does anyone understand what I'm putting down here?
And basically, the good thing is, this is very likely not to be able to happen. Because other countries are
Who on earth is going to be like, yes, I will take Japanese citizens who will not let me put my citizens in your country. Yes, this sounds like a good deal. I will accept these terms unconditionally.
You know about give and take. Like, you need to
Absolute children.
You need to do one of those.
Absolute children.
It's so dumb. It's so bloody dumb. But yeah, according to this article, though, about 24% of the Japanese population have received at least one shot. What percentage of the population have received 4 shots is above 0%. So that's slightly disconcerting.
And you failed.
It's just so dumb. So dumb. So, a lot of the lockdown stuff is not actually the law. So a lot of it is asking businesses, please shut down before 8 p.m, please don't serve alcohol. And it's like, if you don't do it, then maybe we'll reduce some funding you might be getting, ba-de-ba-de-ba. However, one of these ways they were trying to implement it has just been shut down, because there was a big government row about COVID-19 proposal for bars withdrawn after furore erupts. This mostly being the fact that the government were going to rely on financial institutions to help convince bars and restaurant operators to comply with COVID-19 emergency curbs.
So, wait, they're asking the banks to hold the bars hostage?
Yes! Or they were going to do that, until people went, that's a terrifying idea!
Yeah, wow. What the hell?
This is
Whose idea was that?
The Japanese government.
What the hell?
So apparently, the original plan was for Japanese state extortion.
It's a very nice bar you got there. Be a shame if anything would have happened to it.
Be a shame if maybe your loans were called in.
I hear you're making lots of money late at night. Be nice if you could send some of that my way.
Well, the government took 24 hours to say, we will not ask financial institutions for their cooperation. And everyone went, good! That was the lowest. Oh, well done. Well done.
Well, I mean, I guess 24 hours is a quick turnaround, but the fact that it even took that long is shocking. Wow. Wow.
So this was apparently originally proposed by Yasutoshi Nishimura, who is the state minister heading the central government effort against the novel coronavirus pandemic. However,
oh, good.
When this was rejected, stated by Chief Cabinet Secretary Katsunobu Kato, he also said in his public statement that not only were they retracting Nishimura's proposal, but they had instructed Nishimura to be more careful about what he says during news conferences in the future.
Always a good sign. Always good to have confidence in your elected officials right there, who know exactly what to say. They're very smart people. Definitely none of them are running their goddamn mouths. Because they're idiots.
Did they just say the quiet part loud?
The fact they had to go out and say, don't worry, we've told him to shut the f*** up, is pretty drastic.
But I think this does give a lovely, opening into the world of Japan. Oh, Japan's so lovely. It's so law-abiding. You don't even need these laws because people just do the stuff. No, they do it because they're pressured by not invisible forces. They're pressured by social institutions and money. Here, almost literally. It's like, these businesses, they have such a sense of public, self that they choose to close down and lose money. No, they're being threatened. This is something I'd expect out the Yakuza, but apparently the Yakuza aren't getting involved in this shit. They're just smuggling sea cucumbers.
Even the Yakuza draw the line at that level of public extortion.
At least the Yakuza don't have government briefings. Let's just say that.
Oh, fantastic. The Japanese government. What if the Yakuza had PR?
And on that tip, it's time to end the show. Also, I've watched all of Odd Taxi in the last week. It is VV good. Watch Odd Taxi. It's great. Great mystery,
folks.
We got him.
Great mystery show. Walrus is best. I have also very unusual flashbacks to being forced to do capoeira in PE class. Which is why I know what capoeira is.
That was a fun few months of PE class. I'm going, oh right, yeah, I remember this vaguely.
I just wonder what school was like, yeah, let's get a bunch of 13-year-old white boys to do Brazilian dance.
We didn't even learn any martial arts. It was just moving in a triangle. I could probably still move in the triangle because it's all we did.
Oh dear. But where can they find us for more capoeira content?
Only the best capoeira content at the Geeks and Gaijin social media pages, at G-Gaijins on Twitter or the Geeks and Gaijins on the Facebook page. If you want to contact us directly, you can send us direct messages on those services or send us an email at geeksandgaijins with an and, not an ampersand, at gmail.com. Again, that's geeksandgaijins at gmail.com. Not the bit about the ampersand thing. You don't need to put that in the address. You'll probably be sent to the wrong place.
It's too bloody long.
Too bloody long. John has his own social media as well, with an Instagram and a Twitter of his own, where he does his own things.
At the Gaijin John on Instagram. At John Combi on Twitter. I can't capoeira. I can give you dumb Japanese food and rubbish takes on voice acting. That's about all I'm good for.
Fair enough.
You know how to find podcasts. You're listening to this. How do you find this? Unless you're that one guy I gave it on a USB about 2 months ago.
He still hasn't given it back, John. We need that episode back, otherwise no one else is going to hear it.
Give it back. Remember, honor code, guys.
The late fees are stacking up, dude. Anyway, if you don't want to be late for an episode of Geeks and Gaijins, they come out every Thursday, 3 p.m. British Standard Time, on our various platforms, including Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, the Amazon one. I still don't remember what that one is. And I upload a video of it onto the YouTube page. All Geeks and Gaijins with an ampersand. Not like the Gmail account, which doesn't have an ampersand. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
You should also follow us on Twitch at Geeks and Gaijins, where we will eventually be doing stuff. So make sure you follow us there. But other than that, thank you everyone for listening. Make sure you don't steal any sea cucumbers. And we'll see you next week in Japan. Stars.
Sparkly, sparkly stars.